Alright, good afternoon guys. This is Dr. Cortez. And sa ating lesson today for the subject entrepreneurship management or simply entrepreneur, we're going to talk about the lesson on corporate social responsibility. Ang isang entrepreneur tulad nyo, mga dapat gawin outside your business, to society, to the community, to the customers, and to the country as well. Before I continue, pwede mo mag-request to subscribe guys sa aking munting channel at maraming salamat in advance. Alright, ito ating topics to be covered for this lesson. What is business ethics? Factors influencing ethical behavior, how ethical behavior is encouraged sa isang business, and ethical issues facing entrepreneurs or entrepreneurship. And of course, we have the intended learning outcomes after the lesson. These are the things that you should be capable of doing. So we'll take responsible for this one example. Understand the ethical behavior expected from you guys or from your business, and examine the ethical philosophy that will impact not only your business but also the external and internal environment, and we should know how to differentiate values, ethics, and morality sa isang negosyo. Alright, so the nature of business ethics. So of course we start from the inside, being good behavior inside your business. Yung mga ethics na dapat meron ka. And we should not just be earning profit. Be rational on this one. We should not only be earning profit for your business. Dapat meron tayong ginagawa for society, for the community, buyers natin, to the government. So we should know what is a business ethics. If we're going to define ang business ethics, ito yung mga principles and standards that will guide you as a business person, as an individual, and the world of business or while you are doing your business transactions. Ayan. So yung personal muna natin yung ating guide. Tayo natin sa loob. Sample, dealing with your supervisors, dealing with your employees. Ayan. Then after that, we go outside to my external environment naman. Okay, so ethical behavior and corporate social responsibility can bring significant benefits. So, bakit ba dapat nating i-discuss ang isang ethical behavior or CSR, corporate social responsibility, ng isang business? Hindi ba pwedeng you just earn profit? It can't be done, kasi meron kang external You can't survive without dealing with external environment. You can't survive with just dealing with you internally lang. Hindi pwedeng profit lang, hindi pwedeng, example, yung hotel or resort, hindi pwedeng you are just earning profit. Hindi rin pwedeng you are just after the welfare of your employees. Dapat partneran natin sa mga pwedeng gawin outside your company towards your customers, for example. First benefit, if you have a good CSR, will attract customers. According to one survey, 66% ng mga customers mo ay will still patronize your product or service kahit magtaas ka ng presyo daw, as long as nakikita nila na you have a good social responsibility. Sabihin, if your customers can monitor that you are doing social responsibility, tumutulong ka sa society, you give mass feeding, you do gift giving, you are involved in community service, community involvement, at kahit magtaas ka na ng presyo, babalik pa rin sila sa'yo kasi they will see that the increase in price ay mayroong pupuntahan. Pero hindi man lahat, only 66% will go back to a socially responsible business. Pag nakita nilang you are helping at magtaas ng presyo, they will come back to your company. So, that attracting customers. Yan ay pag nagtaas ng presyo, no? Pag hindi ka naman nagtaas ng presyo, talagang maraming pupuntang customer sa'yo. Pag nakita nilang you are giving to society. Example, you can see that sa aming in our restaurants or in our hotel, sa bawat 100 pesos na benta namin, 5 pesos will go to civic welfare or civic works. So may pupunta. Example, you can help out. Example, 5 pesos will go to Gawad Kalinga, will go to Pantay Bata programs, or 5 pesos will go to orphanage or mga bayang puna, no? Pag nakita mo customers yan at tumutulong ka, example, to the Red Cross, no? You are ordering something to the Red Cross. If your customer feels you those things, he will patronize your products, your service, example, resto or hotels. The second benefit, pag meron kang socially responsible, it will make employees want to stay with the business. Of course, isang empleyado, they want to stay in the business or they want to be involved in the business na tumutulong sa society. Sabi, I will stay here kasi maganda ang ginagawa ng aming company. Right? And number 3, it will attract more employees. Yung iba mag-i-stay and yung mga hindi pa kasama sa business nyo, they want to be part of your business. They want to work with your business pag nakita nilang you are socially responsible. And of course, the number 4 reason it can attract investors. Na? Yung mga gusto maglagay ng pera, mag-contribute, they want to be owners as well of the business. So, pag socially responsible ka, pupunta sila sa'yo. And that is more capital for the business pag may mga investors na nagpuntahan. Alright, so moving on. Ito naman, unethical behavior. Yung mga hindi aking yung unethical behavior talagang siya ay Satan. Unethical behavior by comparison. Ito baliktad na natin. Isang business na unethical. Maraming reason, maraming ways how to be unethical ng isang business. Hindi nagbabayad ng tax, nanadaya sa customers, hindi nagbabayad ng tamang sweldo sa mga empleyado niya. Those are unethical. By comparison, ang ginawa mo to, your action being unethical can damage the reputation of your company. Less appealing to the customers, less appealing to the investors. Walang pupunta sa'yo. Walang mag-invest, walang bibili, walang magsusupply. Right? And of course, it can affect your bottom line. I mean, your income can be affected pag ikaw ay hindi masyadong unethical. Okay? Effect, it could go down. Kasi kalahati, mawawala, no? Pag nakita nilang you're using child slavery or child labor, bawal ang child labor, di ba? Or nakita nilang hindi na tama pa ang sweldo ng iyong resto or yung hotel, they will not come back to your company. Pag nakita nilang yung kanilang perang binabayad sa iyo is less than the value that they receive, they will not go back to your company. Sa unang araw siguro maganda, no? Na marami kang customers, but ang usapan sa negosyo, yung mga bumabalik. Tapos 100 yung araw na to, tapos kinabukasan bumalik 20. Ito pangit yung walang masyadong retention, no? Ganda yung out of 100 na customers mo, then 90 will go back. Yun ang maganda. Kasi 90% of the customers are coming back. Right, so let's move on. Ito yung mga issues, mga sample sa mga unethical issues na pwede mangyari sa mga business. Honesty and fairness. Maraming reason why, how are you going to be dishonest and unfair sa iyong negosyo. Sa loob lang maraming pwedeng gawin, no? Example, not transparent in paying overtime pay, mga service group, for example, yung mga customers nyo. Or they are holding back, sabi niya, walang increase ng salary yung taon kasi yung ating company suffered in net loss. Okay? Hindi yung pinapakita yung result. Yung pala, net income ka na. So, that is not fair for the employees na. Pag lumabas ka, honesty can also result from transacting with customers, transacting with suppliers, transacting with the government. Dishonesty, pagbabayad ng taxes. Yung tax natin, 25%. Isang partnership and corporation, 25%. Then, sometimes you will understate or babawasan mo ang yung kita, parang tax mo ay liliit. So that is tax evasion, that is a crime. You can be accused of tax evasion. O conflict of interest. May mga empleyado na employed na sa isang company, pero nag-rumaraket pa rin, no? Mas-sideline pa rin. Nakakatulad or competitor nung kanyang pinagtatrabuhan. Example, isang resto or hotel, no? May isang employee. Then pag Sunday, sumasilent sa ibang hotel. Sumasilent sa ibang resto. So, that is not unfair, di ba? Full-time ka eh. So, why do sideline jobs? Okay lang pag pareho kang puro part-time ka. Example, part-time sa isang company, you can do part-time jobs sa another company. So, okay lang. So, fraud. Fraud sa isang your company can do fraud. Yung nadadaya. Example, credit card. No? May nagbayad ng credit card isang customers. Hindi ginagamit yung credit card to in doing some transactions na hindi authorized. Okay? And common din yung discrimination sa negosyo. Ito yung you are hiring only a certain group of people. Example, puro dapat below 25. So that's discrimination, no? Yung bang dapat lahat ay inclusive. Dapat pwedeng lahat ay ma-hire. Example, kahit matanda ka na, kahit nasa 40s ka na, no? You can still be hired by a company. Yan. Pero pag hindi mo sa ginawa, yun ang discrimination. Example, you are not hiring the member of the third sex. You're not hiring certain ethnic groups. Example, you will not hiring people from Mindanao, diba? Or you will not hiring a certain group of religious group. So, discrimination. Or you will not be hiring students or graduates from a certain university. So, that is discrimination. And information technology then, that can also be done unethically by a business. Ito yung mga you are resorting to yung online scamming, diba? Yung mga nagbabayad ng through PayPal or GCash yung company. So, wala pang nade-deliver, pero binabawasan mo na, kinakredit mo na yung bank account nila, no? Yung bang transfer sa account ng isang company, hindi pa nade-deliver. You can also do cyberbullying. You can do scamming sa online. You know this one, guys, no? It happens all the time naman yung mga ganitong mga IT transactions or online. Okay, actions with ito yung mga pwede pa natin gawin. Isang company bullying. Okay, uso din yung bullying sa isang company, sa isang restaurant, hotel, resort, or any forms of business, no? So, ito. Some samples of bullying, spreading rumors is part of bullying. May isang empleyado, may isang waiters na spreading rumors against him, against her, na hindi naman totoo, no? So, it can affect his work. So, that is part of bullying. Lacking others' communication in the workplace. Yan, ibang you are not allowing somebody to talk to a certain people, certain example. Yung crewmates mo, no? Gustong kausapin yung manager, ayaw mo siyang pakausap, ikaw ang bisor eh. So, bullying. Flaunting status or authority, yung you are showing who is the boss in one company. You are intimidating some persons sa iyong company. Discrediting others' ideas. Meron kang example, you are the boss, you are the supervisor, then you have a certain employee under you. Meron siyang ginawang maganda, then you are taking the credit. Ikaw ang gumawa. Sabi mo sa manager, boss, akong gumawa niyan eh. Pinefang hindi ikaw yung gumawa, no? May mga taong gumawa yan. So that is part of part of bullying. Using emails then, you can intimidate somebody using emails. That is part of kasi ang bullying is not only physically. You can do that through online, through email. So that is cyberbullying. And number 6, failing to communicate or return communication. Ito medyo mababa but kita natin na if you will not return an email, so pag may nag-email kasi, parang we should answer right away, yung mga emails sa ganito. So, sa umaga nga, pag gising mo sa umaga, di ba? Anong una mo ginagawa? You visit your inbox and you reply right away. So, sometimes you will spend an hour to reply to emails, So, pag hindi mo siya i-replyan, that is part pala of bullying, cyberbullying. Mas lahat na number 7. Sinisigawan mo. You're insulting. So that is very obvious na if you will do this to your co-employees or subordinates, that is part of bullying. Using terminology to discriminate by gender, race, or age. Ano na mga pwedeng gamitin dito? Ayan. The gender. Usually naman, sorry for the word guys yung mga minsan ginagamitan natin, yung mga binary, mga non-binary members, mga members of the third sex, diba? Ang tawag natin, example, bakla, diba? Sorry for the word, pero bakla, oy bakla, ganun. So, bullying pala siya. Or pwedeng race, Bisaya, oy Bisaya, diba? Ganun. So, bullying. Or pag-age naman, or tanda. Bullying. So, don't resort to using terminology that will result to bullying, di ba? Meron tayong Republic Act, Anti-Bullying Act, Republic Act. So merong batas. So they can use those law file a case of bullying against a person, against you, to the company, against the boss, or against the co-employees. Taking credit for others' work or ideas. Ito rin number 10, parang kasama din sa itong number 4, the opposite. Discrediting kasi, meron siyang ginawa, pero hindi mo pinapaalam na gawa niya. Okay? So number 10 kasi, inaapo mo. So those are samples of bullying in the workplace that you should not be doing. Ito naman, lying. Sa company sa isang organization. 3 major types of lies. Joking without malice. White lie. Told in order not to hurt someone's feelings. Ang white lies, ito yung may nakita kang mali sa kanya, but you don't want to offend the person. Hindi mo sinasabi yung totoo. Ay, gusto ko yung damit mo pero in fact, lukot-lukot. Pag gusto ko yung buhok mo ngayon but in fact, pangit yung kanyang hindi bagay, yung kanyang grooming. Ito, white lies, tawag natin. Lying by commission, creating a perception or belief by words that intentionally deceive. Ito yung ginawa mo. Ninakaw mo, di ba? Yung pera. You can be the employee, you can be the supervisors. Saka sa what you call this one, yung as register ng company, may kinuha pa, di ba? Pero sabi mo, hindi mo kinuha. So, lying by commission. The lying by omission, intentionally not informing the receiver of material acts. Meron kang ginawa, hindi mo sinabi sa kanya. Ang commission kasi, pininakaw mo ba? Sabi mo, hindi. That is lying by commission. Pero ang lying by omission, ginawa mo, pero hindi mo sinabi sa kanya. Just the same, the two are still part or types of lies. Those happens in your organization, di ba? Nangyari sa mga company natin. Or if you are the owner, right? Example, hindi ka nagbayad ng tax. Okay? So that is lying. Or hindi ka nagbayad ng proper overtime. That is lying. Or nagbenta ka ng product pero may kulang yung product, no? Or nagbenta ka ng food, may kulang ingredients. Or nag-provide ka ng service, sa sobrang pagod mo, di ba? Hindi mo, may kulang yung ginawa mo dun sa kanya. For example, may nagpagupit sa isang restaurant, no? Isang restaurant. Ikaw yung waiter, ikaw yung waitress ng company. May standard yan. Right? Pag nag-service ka, may standard yan. Meron kang isang part ng service na hindi mo ginawa. So, hindi na sa standard. Sa pagluluto lang na Tapos sabi mo, yung spaghetti, pag ininit, dapat 8 minutes. Right? Pero ginawa mo, 5 minutes lang kasi tinatamad ka. So, hindi sa standard. Or, sa isang hotel, actually, meron kang discount to be given, 10%. Okay? Sinabi ng bigyan mo ng discount yan, yes. Or hindi mo sa binigyan ng discount, so lying by omission. Hindi mo binigay . So there are things that can happen lying in one organization. So very simple naman, diba? You should not committing those things. Alright, so conflict of interest, it happens. Major or minor conflict of interest. A conflict of interest arises when an individual, the employee in one organization, must choose whether to advance his or own personal interest. Or interest mo ba? Interest ba ng organization? Or interest ng isang grupo that you belong? So tatlo no? Isang company, may tatlong interest, common interest. Your interest, the interest of the company, or the interest of the group that you belong. Right? So, ito major sample now. Major sample of conflict of interest. It happened many years ago in one of my company. I was an accountant in one company. I will not mention anymore the company now. It was a manufacturing company. Anyway, wala nang nag-close na yung aming company. Yung company namin, we are into service. No? So, meron pala mga tao sa company na nagtayo ng negosyo. Why they were still employed by the company. So that is part of conflict of interest. Kumbaga, yung mga customers ng company, kinukuha mo. So nawawala ng customers yung company kasi meron kang sariling company. While you are still employed ng isang organization. Yan, conflict yan, di ba? Or alin ang pipiliin mo? Sabi ng isang department mo wag mo munang ipasok yung benta. Next month mo na ipasok yung benta. Tapos ng February 28, nakabenta ka. Sabi ng grupo mo, sa March mo na ipasok yung benta para meron tayong benta sa March. Actually, kung kailan naganap yung bentahan ng month, doon mo siya papasok, dapat February. Sabi ng grupo mo para mabango yung ating grupo, i-March mo na yan. So which one are you going to follow? Diba? Or conflict of interest may also happen. Organizations often prohibited employees from accepting bribes, personal payments, gift, or special favor. Ito nangyayari, mga accept ng bribe. Example, may isang supplier ka, sabi ng supplier mo, oy, pwede bang ako ang kunin supplier? May cut ka dito, 10%. Ibigay namin sa'yo. So that is bribe. Or gift. Sa mga uso naman yung gift sa sa mga, happen naman sa mga companies, if you want to ask favor from a certain organization or company or suppliers, you accept personal gift. Right? Kapag Pasko, ang ginagawa natin pag Pasko sa mga company natin, di ba? We send gift doon sa ating mga customers, supplier. Kasi we know that sometimes we can ask favor from them. Anyway, di masyadong maganda kasi dapat pure Okay lang yan pag there is pure out of talagang tao sa puso, walang strings attached. Okay lang siya. But if you are asking favor from a certain group or organization, that is unethical. Alright, so let's move on. Fraud. Define natin ang fraud. Fraud is any false communication that deceives, manipulates, or conceals facts in order to create a false impression or damage other person. May dalawang klase na ng fraud, the accounting fraud or the marketing fraud. Accounting fraud, sa ating picture dito, na sometimes you can use credit card in you are the seller and you're accepting credit card from your customers. Tapos yung credit card siyempre ginamit mo, di ba? Sometimes yung pag swipe mo yung credit card, di ba? Dapat sabi mo 1,000 pesos lang, pero nag-swipe ka 1,000, dinagdagan mo 1,200. And sometimes you are getting the info or the data ng credit card na hawak mo, kasi madaling ma-retrieve yung data ng mga, di ba, ng mga customers mo. Swipe mo lang yan yung data pwede mang kunin you can use the data to deceive yung mga customers niyan. Example, hindi mo alam naman saan binili, pero yung kanyang number ginamit mo, nag-auto debit siya tuwing katapusan ng buwan. It happened to me one time. Nag-auto debit yung aking account, in-stop ko na yung subscription. Nagtataka ako, parang 1 month nag-auto debit siya, nabawasan yung aking account. That is fraud, no? Hindi pangit na transaction. Or on the part naman ng isang company, di ba, pag you're paying taxes or your resort, hotel, or rest is paying taxes, pag mas maliit ang income mo, ang tax na babayaran mas konti. So let's say ang income mo is 100,000, so 25,000 ang tax. So gagawin mo, yung 100,000 papababain mo yan. Yung tubo mo, net income, pinapababa mo yan. Parang tax na babayaran ay kunti na lang. That is fraud, di ba? Example, may benta hindi i-record, parang net income mo ay liliit, di ba? So pandaraya, not recording. Hindi ka nag-use ng receipt, ng resibo, parang hindi matrace yung benta. So that is fraud, accounting fraud. Maraming ways maraming method naman how to decrease the net income legally, not resorting to fraud, no? Pwedeng pababa net income without resorting to fraud, without pandaraya. Marketing fraud ang sunod natin. So hotel, resto, resort, airline companies, diba? Travel agency, booking, nag-ibenta mga tickets sa mga airlines, booking tickets offices, booking agents. Yan, they can resort to marketing fraud. Yung bang they are deceiving the customers to buy something ng kanilang product o promo 15% discount. Yung pala may mga hidden charges. Magugulat yung customers nyo, bakit may dagdag? Yung pala mga hidden charges. Or false advertising, nakalagay doon pay as low as 500 pesos. Pero actually, pag transaction ka na, hindi naman totoong as low as 500 pesos. Pero ako palang gagawin, di ba? Or hotel. Ito nangyari sa Boracay, no? Sa Bora. May isang hotel sa Bora, ini-invite kami. Free dinner. Yan. Siyempre free dinner, di ba? So, punta naman kami doon. Yung pala, magsi-seminar. So, bago mag-dinner, may seminar muna. So, para ikaw ay na captured audience, no? Nung kanilang seminar, no? Kasi they are looking for persons who will listen to their seminars or promo. Ayan, those are marketing fraud, mga sobrang exaggerated na pricing strategy, product or promotion strategy, no? Na you will feel deceived. So, nakarama naman pag nangyari sa mga tapos na gumagawa niyan. Anyway, the discrimination. Ito yung mga programs Of course, in one company, di ba, you should be hiring, recruiting persons, you will promote individuals. Kaya lang, you are discriminating against certain race, gender, or other characteristics. So, bawal ka mag-advertise kasi na dapat fair complexion, iba pa rin mga maitim. Example ako, tasky ako hindi ako fair complexion. So, di na pala ako pwede sa mga ganun. If I can recall na, when I was in college, ang usong fast food dati, Cindy's. So, parang I applied in Cindy's. So, parang ayaw nila mga maitim kasi maitim ako Parang pinipili lang yung mga fair complexion, pleasing personality. So, bawal yan. Okay? Bawal din yung dapat ang height mo is only 5'5". Dati kasi pag nag-apply ka sa mga fast food, dapat 5'7". Pag sa lalaki, 5'7". Pag sa babae, 5'2". Iba pa rin mga hindi masyado kaabot ng height requirement na yan. So, hindi nila kasama. Pero ngayon, we are removing those. Bawal yung mga ganung ganong requirement. Pleasing personality, dapat 5'5". Dapat pleasing personality, dapat 25 years old pababa. Dapat graduate ng certain university. So, bawal na yan. O dapat hindi pwede yung mga adults na, right? Hindi pwede may asawa. Hindi pwede yung married women. So, bawal na yan. Okay, so ito yung sample or data ng mga unethical behavior na ginagawa. And alin ang pinakamaraming, the most common types of unethical behavior ng isang company. So we can see here na ang common, yung lying. That is 25%, lying about your products, lying about the income. So meron ditong mga matataas. Meron dito 25%, meron ditong 22%. Example, putting one's own personal interest is unethical. Maraming gumagawa because that one is 22%. Abusive behavior, naninigaw ng mga empleyado, ng customers. So that is 22%. Meron namang hindi masyadong ginagawa. Example, itong mga 10%, hindi sa masyadong mataas. 10%, example, improper hiring. So that is only 10%. Sabihin, walang masyadong gumagawa. Yung internet abuse, that is only 10%. So walang masyadong gumagawa. Sexual harassment, Ang guys, sexual harassment is also common sa mga... we have law against sexual harassment, guys. Hinipay ko yung person in authority, the boss, the managers, and you do something sexually abusive towards your subordinates. Example, yung jokes lang, green jokes. Green jokes is part of sexual harassment. Yung pagpito nga lang, di ba, sa Quezon City merong yung catcalls, yung sinisipulan yung mga girls sa dumadaan. Yan sexual harassment or bawal. Pagbibiro, or especially pag ikaw ay may authority dun sa person na subject of sexual harassment. So, pwedeng akusan ka ng ganun. Lalaki or babae. So, pwede ikaw you are a male crew. Yung bisor, babae. So, pwede mangyaring ganun I have a friend na I have friends na kahit lalaki sila, they were subject of or victims of sexual harassment. So pwedeng babae yung perpetrators ng act. Hindi palaging lalaki. Alright, so codes of conduct. It's important sa ating mga companies, guys. Meron kang listahan. Meron kang parang Bible manual na code of conduct. Kasi pag meron kang pinaka-list printed at binigay mo lahat ng employees ng copy ng printed code of conduct. So parang parang siyang kahit walang magsabi sa kanila, pag nakita nila mayroong nakaprint na code of conduct or nakapost sa board or sa isang prominent place ng company, they will be always be reminded daily na meron mangyayari pag hindi sinunod ang code of conduct. Aside from the normal reprimanding, normal reminders sa kanila, ganda meron silang copy ng code of conduct. So parang imaginary yan imaginary authority. Alright, so this one is formal. A code of conduct is formal statements that describe what an organization expects of its employees. Reflect the board of directors and senior management desire for organizational compliance as a key risk for the organization. Sometimes they call this one, iba ang tawag dyan. Sometimes they will not call this one as code of conduct. Sometimes they will call this as employee manual, faculty manual, students manual. Sa academe, ganun ginagawa eh. Para pag ikaw nag-reprimand ng example, there is somebody committed a certain unethical behavior like bullying or sexual harassment. So meron kang babalikan. Kasi pag wala kang basis, baka isipin nung ina-accuse ay gawa-gawa lang or sariling hula yung verdict or decision. Pero mayroon kang pinanggagalingan, you can refer to that. So example, sir, you are being accused by somebody, by your subordinates, according to our article 1 of our code of conduct. You committed this act violation ng ating code of conduct. So meron kang basis, and you can't be accused na may bias kasi meron kang pinanggagalingan, you can refer to something. Kasi wala kang basis na baka you can be accused of bias or pinipersonal mo yung tao. So to be safe, meron kayong code of conduct. Hindi naman sa ganun kakapal eh. Right? Pwede sa company. Okay, so code of conducts, yung nakaraan rin then bakit meron tayong dapat code of conduct? So nakalagay dyan, siyempre, no? Yung mga issues related to inside the company, the policies, procedure, mga government law and regulation. Example, important yung sa DOLE, labor code, no? Na pag mayroong violation, example, hindi nagbayad yung company ng night differential. Example, nagtrabaho yung waiter ng 10 o'clock ng gabi hanggang 6 ng kinabukasan. Hindi dapat binabayaran yan ng night differential. Kasi labor code, no? So isama mo sa yan sa code of conduct. You can also refer to the code of conduct when it comes to how are you going to handle, example, an angry, complaining customers. Meron kang standard, no? How do you handle them? So nakalagay sa yan, code of conduct natin. And as well, acceptance of gift is it maganda yung huwag kang tatanggap ng gift sa suppliers natin or customers kasi nakalagay sa sa ating manual. So pwede kang ma-memo. Okay, or example, meron kang mga visitors from Japan, di ba? Where do you bring your visitors? So part ng example, pag bisita tayo, okay lang na you can go to bars, you can bring things to bars. That is part of our code of conduct. Ang company ba is allowed? Is one company allowed to do political contributions? Huwag mo nang gawin. Kasi you can be accused of doing favor. Example, magdabigay yung company ng 1 million dun sa kandidato sa pagka-mayor or pagka-barangay chairman So, pag nanalo yan, baka sabihin, you can ask him favor from them. Tapos meron kang piggery. Yung piggery, kino-complain ng mga tao sa barangay kasi siyempre maamoy, di ba? Nagbigay ng contribution kay barangay chairman. Nung nanalo siya, so sabi mo, chairman, baka pwedeng hindi natatanggal aking piggery. Sabi ni chairman, sige, nag-contribute ka naman sa akin ng 1 million di ba? Alright? Another one, itong expense reporting. Kasi guys, pag example, nag-travel ka, no? Binigyan ka ng company ng ng 10,000 allowance. Then pagbalik mo sa company, dapat yan, not reimburse tawag dito. Not reimbursing Plainist, ayan. Para mga resibo, pinapakita mo dun sa kung magkano ang ginastos mo sa 10,000, may mga resibo kang pinapakita. Supporting. Minsan, dinadayo mo yung resibo Kumain ka sa restaurant, di ba? Ang naggastos 200 lang naman. Tapos ginagawa mo sang 400 pesos. Right? Para meron kang, may kupit, no? Yung company nyo rin, sometimes you will be reporting an expense na napakataas. Kasi pag expense ay tumataas, yung inyong net income bumababa, Pag bumaba ang net income, yung tax bumababa din. Example, may nireport kang expense ng company na 5,000 pesos. Nakalagay doon, donation and contribution. Pero actually, wala kang mang nakontribute. Nilagay mo lang doon, para papalabas mong gastos ng company, Or may nakalagay din sa expense reporting, overtime pay. Hindi ka talaga bayad ng overtime pay ng empleyado mo. Okay? O kaya, dapat ang mga pag negosyante ka, dapat lahat ng gasa ay properly documented or properly supported. Okay? Hindi pwedeng subjective dapat objective. By supporting. Alright? The code of conduct is also important to prevent conflict of interest. Nakalagay dyan. Example, nakalagay sa any code of conduct, bawal mag-asawa isang company. Pag may nag-asawa sa isang company, isa dapat pag-resign or dapat umalis sa company. Magkasama sa or bawal dapat yung mga magpipinsan, magkakamag-anak sa isang company. Kasi ang reason, example, your resto, ang magpipinsan 5. Ang crew mo 8. Yung 5 magpipinsan. Nagkaroon ng reunion sa probinsya. Yung magpipinsan atin. Matitira 3 lang, di ba? These payments is also part of code of conduct. Ito yung binabayaran. Nagbabayad ka sa regulatory body ng local government. Ayan, minsan kasi if you want to ask favor from the local government, example, boss, pwede mong pa-approve yung aming business permit. Pwede mong pa-approve yung aming health permit, sanitary permit para hindi maisarado. Minsan nagbabayad ka naglalagay ka, di ba? Release money dun sa mga authority para bigyan ka ng favor. So, have you seen guys, ang daming unethical behavior or code of conduct na pwede natin gawin sa ating mga organization, right? Ang bottom line, don't enrich your company at the expense of other persons. Kasi babalik sa mga companies yung mga ganong mga actions. Alright, so let me see. I know that is the last slide for this lesson. And thank you guys for dropping by and watching my videos. At sa mga susunod ko mga recordings, hoping to see you all again. Next time, this has been Dr. Gorte signing off. Maraming salamat guys. Thank you.